Oh, what's going on, guys? gfunkyboxing is here. Thank you so much to the band. They do a great job. Give them a hand. Give them a hand. All right. Wow, wow, wow. That's all I got to say right now is wow, wow, wow. And guys, look, I hope you guys watched my prediction video that I put out there. But in case you missed it, let me remind you of what I said. What my prediction was. Land uppercuts on Wilder, and that's, to me, that's the kryptonite here with Whyte. He gets hit with a lot of uppercuts, man, and Fury throws uppercuts with both. I'm gonna pick Tyson Fury to win this fight, and I think he's gonna win by knockout, and I think it's gonna come within the first 6 rounds of the fight. Uppercut, first 6 rounds of the fight. I got you, D-Style. Don't trip, brother. Puerto Rican rum is here in the house. Oh man. Hey man, look, let's give Whyte some credit, okay? Look, I gave him round 1. That's the only round that I gave him, and I felt like, he landed some good shots to the body in that round. The jab, the right jab, he came out in southpaw, which is the funny thing. He comes out in southpaw round 1, tries to, I guess, throw Fury off a little bit, and I think it might have caught Fury by surprise, but he recovered, and he came out in southpaw himself. The very next round, he comes out in southpaw himself. And look, I don't recommend guys really doing that, especially if you're not a southpaw. Uh, but it is what it is, man. But look, this was, to me, it was a very easy fight to call, man, because the uppercut, DJ Mexicano de Tejas, what's up, man? I mean, the man has a tail, all right, and it's obvious to me, man. Kryptonite uppercuts. What's going on, D-Style?
I told you, this was not like a difficult. This was more of like how is he going to beat him type of, you know what I mean?
Right.
Let me tell you something, man. This is not me Monday morning quarterbacking. This is not me gloating after the fact. Like, I've been telling people for years that Whyte ain't shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about elite. Like, he's just not there. But unfortunately, we had a group of people out here on the Whyte TBC, a lot of fans that like felt this way, and it started happening. And I told you this on the phone, like around 2016 or so, when Wilder was a champion and AJ was a champion. AJ got all the belts because they were there for him. Like, he got one from Prince Martin, for God's sakes, right? And,
Right.
then he unified with Parker, and he ended up getting all those belts. He got one from Klitschko. That was a vacant belt. Because Fury retired, like Fury left the sport, right? And Wilder had the WBC. Okay, he ended up acquiring that belt from Severn, right? So there was like a crop of heavyweights over here and a crop of heavyweights over here. They were on two different sides. Okay, the side from the AJ side didn't like the Wilder side, vice versa. So they started diminishing each other's accomplishments. Oh, come on, AJ's fighting old Povetkin. Oh, come on, who's Severn? Who's Severn never beat? I mean, Ariola, right? But who he ever beat, right? But you'll hear him say things like, but Severn ain't shit. We ain't that good. Severn couldn't compete with Povetkin. Like, I disagree with that statement, right? But then it kind of evolved, and it got to a point where when Wilder fought Fury, they thought, well, I mean, are those guys really that good? Or are they the B League and the real crop of heavyweights over here? And that's why he kept hearing all the accolades of Whyte. Oh, Whyte, he beat a former world champion and Parker. Wilder's never done that. Like, just stuff like that. And it's like, he's better than Wilder. You're going to see in this fight. I didn't see it. Oh, Wilder. Somebody, Jimmy, whatever name is, said, you could see he got hit by Wilder's right hand. And he said, but Wilder lets you know by mail when he said throw the right hand. Right? Mm-hmm. Well, if you could see Wilder's hand from a mile away, you could see Whyte's from the moon. Like, okay, because there's as he looked really bad in there. He did not look coordinated. He looked outclassed. It was another level of heavyweight, but it was on the Fury side. Okay, and to be honest with you, he started a little slow because it was cold out there. Probably didn't want to get caught cold, and he wanted to warm up first. If not, I think this fight ends earlier. He was doing whatever he wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I feel like him coming out in southpaw kind of threw Fury off a little bit in the beginning. But that's about it. That's really about it. That's really where it ends at for Dillian Whyte. Like you said, man, and I've been saying this for a while. I have not been impressed with Whyte. Poor balance. Throws shots from too far away. Doesn't really set up that left hook very well unless you're exchanging with him. And now Fury again stayed in his range, stayed in the outside. He's like, I'm not going to get in there in mid range with you and exchange like you want. You're not going to get that. Whyte also getting very emotional in there. All right. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. This did the same thing against Joshua, throwing punches after the bell against Joshua. Here he's throwing punches behind the head while the referee's telling him to break and stuff like that. You can tell he's getting frustrated in there.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, that jab again, everything comes up. These times I've been telling you guys this for a long time. The jab sets up everything. Off that jab was right hands around the guard.
Once he started
Straight right
ducking
hands to
low
the
from the
body.
jab, oh, I knew it
Yeah.
was a matter of time.
Yeah, and then the uppercut comes, boom,
Oh
and
my
it was
God.
good night. Like always, again, this is 3 fights now. He's been knocked out with uppercuts.
Ooh, yo, that uppercut was like it was just sharp. It's not like he loaded it. It was just like boom, like, you know what I mean? He just went down. It was only a matter of time. Like I think he was waiting for him to duck low, you know. But in the meantime, dude, I think he was landing hooks, and he was doing it around the guard, so there was still like partial landing, like behind a ear. You know, the right hand was getting through the guard for the most part. You know, the jab. Every round. You know what? Every round, the jab was popping more. Every round.
Yep.
He started to pop it even more. And you know what? That's Whyte's best half. Whyte is a first half fighter. He starts to gas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was not going to get. Let's say Fury didn't land that uppercut, right? It's going to start getting worse for him.
Definitely. NYY Mech says this was almost 6 years in the making just for this to go out this way. JC says the fight was boring. Hey man, look, everybody's got their cup of tea. All right. I felt like it was pretty entertaining to see Fury set it up the way that he did, you know. Kid Top Skull is here. It says good fight. Let's see. Ortiz would have destroyed Whyte. I think so too. I honestly think so too.
I don't know now, but yeah, I mean,
past,
that's another guy that since he didn't fight that crop over here, they just diminished him. Like, but how good is Ortiz? Really, he ain't really that good. Like he never fought a former world champion like Whyte did. Like, dude, all I know is that this dude was getting fucked up, bro. Okay, so no, it's not true that he's been like. Does anybody really still believe? Like, if he fights Wilder, Wilder knocks him out. Okay, Wilder knocks Whyte the fuck out. I'm just telling you that right now.
Let's see here. We get another comment. It says the Sin Silver says, damn, I don't want Fury to retire. Hope this wasn't his last one. I don't think so, man. I think he's bluffing, to be honest with you. Guys, there again, there's really not much to break down here. This is a pretty simple thing. We kind of all saw it coming, at least, you know, the ones here that look at things from an unemotional and unbiased perspective, you know.
Did you see him notice those right hands?
Right.
Dude. Like, how do you miss it? He was looking at the right hand when he missed it. That was crazy, bro.
Guys, the phone line is open. Anybody who wants to call in 916-572-1020. Give us your thoughts on this fight.
Is Troy out there?
We'll see if he calls in, man. Let's see. You guys let us know if you think Fury's really going to retire or not. I personally don't think so, man. I think he's going to stick around. Yeah. I mean, look, if AJ wins, I mean, look, that's a huge fight. They just had 94,000 people to see Fury fight Dillian Whyte, you know? Imagine AJ or Usyk. Oh, my gosh. And then a couple of other guys that are coming up that could give him a run for his money. Joyce, the Herkovich kid, Anderson. I mean, look, I know what they were saying on ESPN thing, like, oh, there's always this guy next, always that guy next. Like, well, so what? Fight him. Who cares? You know, if you take a loss on the way, fuck it. You know, it is what it is, man. Just give us the fights we want to see. That's all we ask of the fighters. Go ahead, bro.
Well, to be honest, I think the only reason there was people out there that believed Whyte had a chance, because it wasn't like it was a process over the last 5 years or so. They've been programmed to believe that Fury was fighting with like the inferior crop over here and like with the Wilders and stuff, right? He didn't fight Ortiz, but they feel like Ortiz and Stavern, like they felt those were the weak crop of heavyweights. The tough crop was over here on this side. You know what I mean? With AJ and Povetkin and Parker, you know what I mean? And all that. But this was a fight this was a bridge fight to find out if that analysis was true. And And while it doesn't prove it completely, right, because it's really about Fury himself, right, it does prove, however, that no, he wasn't fighting at another level compared to, he wasn't fighting the A leagues while Fury was fighting in the B league. You know, that just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the case. And you could see it. Like he was, it looked like he didn't belong in the ring with him.
No, it was a completely different
I
class.
could see a casual watching this fight and thinking, "Oh, is this like a? Oh, okay, it's like a tune-up." Like I could totally, and I'm not trying to be funny. I could see a casual fan just saying that to themselves, like, "Oh, this is one of those like getting ready for the next fight type fights, right?"
It sure looked
That's
like
what it looked
it.
like. Yeah.
It sure did, man. He had no idea what to do with that jab, with that movement, and yeah, it was kind of. I mean, I hate to say this, man, but I mean, it was written all over the place. We've seen the writing on the wall already.
I
You
think
know,
Wallen would have beaten him, bro. I know I was saying that before they fought. I said I think Wallen's going to beat Whyte.
me too. Hey, look, White's tough. He's a tough guy. I know he's got power in that left hook, but there's levels to this thing, man, and he's just not on that level. I'm
Yeah, man.
sorry.
But you know what? I still feel like people are making it sound, bro, like, oh, no, he's going to bring another element to that Fury's never seen, right? He's going to get on the inside. He's going to throw caution to the wind, go to the body. Like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, how'd that work out? Because you know what? I don't care what anybody says, bro. This dude's 6'9", he's 264 pounds. When he punches you, it hurts. Okay?
Hmm.
Period. And people want to say, well, he doesn't really beat guys up and he doesn't knock guys out. Well, what are you going to say now?
Right. And again, that defense, like I said, man, I said in my prediction, Swiss cheese, man. He was finding holes all in that guard. Um, yeah, like I don't know what White goes from here. He waited so long, like a comment earlier, waited so long to get
Yeah.
his shot at the belt and ends up flat on his back in 6 rounds, gets up, can't gather his footing, and the referee calls it. I was like, damn. I was really thinking, like, damn, I'm gonna be off of my prediction here. I still thought he was gonna knock him out. But then boom, that right hook, that right uppercut lands right at the end of round 6. And he gets him out of there. And I said within 6 rounds it would happen. And boy, I got it in there just in time.
You know what's funny? I just felt like he was just gonna let it come if it came. I don't think he was looking for it. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
think he was confident, like it's gonna come. He's gonna open himself. So I mean, that's really what it was, man. He fucked this dude up. So
He sure did, man. Miguel Mondragon says, haha, White fans thought they had a chance. Yeah, I mean, look, it's cool to be a fan, man. As long as you put it out there, like, hey, man, I'm a fan of this guy. So, I want him to win. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like some guys definitely go over the top sometimes with certain fighters. Puerto Rican Rum says, I still want Fury versus Joshua and Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. Yeah, those are good fights. Those are all good fights, man. He says Wilder versus Andrew Ruiz would sell in Vegas or LA. Yep, I'll take it. Wilder versus White. I mean, we could still get that too. Why not? You know, why not? I would take Wilder to win by knockout, just like I picked Fury by knockout, just like I picked Povetkin by knockout. um,
and by the way, this wasn't like the Povetkin fight in the sense that at least he was like up on the cards in the Povetkin fight. Like he was in the fight. He was winning.
mm-hmm.
If you want to be generous, you give him one round. I didn't give him any rounds, but if you want to give him one, I guess maybe the first, but because it was a very slow round, but I thought this was a difference in class from the start. And it was nothing really like I never felt any danger. Like I just felt like
Mm-mm.
he was in control the whole time.
Yep, he was doing what he wanted in there. White couldn't stop him from moving. White couldn't stop him from mauling once he got on the inside. Uh, he had no answers, man. The only thing he had was shout out to Ashy Knuckles, who used to do a show with D-Style, was a puncher's chance. That's about it.
But even like, isn't it true that even a puncher's chance has levels to it, right? There's a
Yeah.
small puncher's chance, there's a big puncher's chance. I felt this wasn't even medium. Like I just felt like, I mean, I think a quarterback had a better shot at a Hail Mary, bro.
You needed a Doug Flutie Hail Mary to win this
Especially
fight
when the way
tonight.
he was missing.
Yeah.
Bro, he was missing wide, bro. Like
Too
wide.
telegraphed. Yeah, too
Yeah, and then
telegraphed.
like Fury was just like boom, clipping him with like some short hooks when he would miss. I mean, it just wasn't like, and it's not a knock on Whyte. I mean, he's still a world class fighter, right? But it's just that he's not at that level. Like, there's a reason AJ beat him, right? This was early in AJ's
Mhm.
career. Like, this is why you saw what you saw. Like, I feel like if Povetkin was 5 years younger, he would have beat him both times.
Yep.
And it's that. And it's Chisora. No offense, Chisora, but a world class fighter shouldn't be struggling with Chisora.
We got a
Not like
call
that.
coming in. Give me a second, guys. All right, 206, you're live.
You see how horrible that damn heavyweight bout looked, man. Shit was trash.
What's going on, boxing historian? Go ahead, speak on it, brother.
Well, J Fun was D Style.
We're good, bro.
I don't know if D Style can hear me, but yeah.
Yes.
No, he can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, I thought the knockout was funny as fuck, man. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this dude was swinging for the fences and missing, hitting fresh ear.
Did you think the ref was gonna let him go? I was like, ref, no. He thought about it. He's like, the dude's like this. He looks like, like Mortal Kombat, like when they call it fatality. And I'm like, ref, what are you thinking of? Just stop it. What are you doing? Like, he's like,
yeah, he's kind of looking like, I don't know. Nah, I think we're gonna stop it. League Rolls, what's going on? So let us know what you thought, man. How did you first off, how did you see this fight going before, and then what did you see in there?
Well, I thought that Dillian Whyte was going to give him some kind of pressure and go to the body, which he obviously didn't. And I thought that, of course, that Fury's best chance was going to control the outside and control the center of the ring, which he did. I thought it was going to be actually a close competitive fight, but I had Fury edging out of the victory. But, I mean, was there a chance that one of them could get dropped and knocked out? Yeah. And, was Dillian Whyte's chin going to could it give out on them? Of course. But I thought with all that being said, it was going to be competitive. And, it was not even close to a competitive bout.
No.
And, I mean, Dillian Whyte, man, like that. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Him and Wilder probably box the same way, man. The only thing is Dillian Whyte has no fucking chin. And Dillian Whyte don't have he can't even move. He can't. I talk about Wilder.
I'll be honest, Brian. I think Wilder's faster, right, than Dillian.
Yeah,
and he's got more power. There's no doubt in my mind. And Fury's fought them both, and he's sparred Whyte before, by the way. So when Fury says that's the hardest puncher I ever fought, I have no doubt in my mind about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt. And then did he see how Whyte was missing the right hand?
Yeah.
Badly.
He was missing by fucking miles and shit.
Too telegraphed, man. I mean, even off the double jab, there was a replay that they showed. I don't know. I watched the BT Sports telecast, and they showed a really good shot of him coming in with that double jab, and then right in the middle of that second jab, boom, Fury counters him with a left hook while he's on the way out, moving away from that right hand. Too easy.
Well, I was going to say this, and I'll like Brian, if you and Brian want to touch on this. I think under Sugar Hill, the hook is just better. Like, and that first fight with Wilder, you know how they were complaining about the floppy glove because he was slapping with it? Mm-hmm. Sugar Hill actually did an interview saying, I got him away from that. I got him away from slapping it and actually throwing a proper hook and a short hook and burying it, right? And I just think it's better now. I think his hook has got a lot better than the Sugar Hill.
I agree 100%, man. He got him to sit down on his punches a little bit better. And even here where he was moving a lot, he picked his spots to sit there and exchange or punch when he wanted to. And there's nothing Whyte could do to stop him. Literally nothing he could do. You got a guy in there that can move around the ring like Fury, and a guy who moves like he's got cement in his boots. You got a recipe for disaster, man. But anything else you want to touch on, Brian?
Look, no disrespect to the UK fans. They're very enthusiastic about boxing. We'll say this though. They have a lot of bums over there. They have a lot of bum fights over there.
Man.
That card, man.
The card was bad. The card was bad. Yeah.
What the hell was I watching, man? Any of you guys know what the hell y'all was watching when you saw that undercard?
The only fight
I didn't watch the undercard, to be honest. I just watched me.
The only fight to me that I was even interested in was to see Tommy Fury, and I felt like he looked pretty good, man. To be honest with you, he looks like he's improved a little bit from the last time I seen him. And I said in my post fight, I made a quick video. I think he beats Jake Paul. I think he beats him easy. I just the way I feel about it, man. What about you, man?
I think that, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, he beat the shit out of both of them bum ass Disney star motherfuckers, man.
We just need a real fighter to beat both of them on the same night. That's what we need.
Yeah, no, for real. And I think that Tommy Fury shows me that he actually can box.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Whereas you can't box. We seen it. This dude couldn't fucking box. He couldn't box Tyron Woodley that whole time. Tyron Woodley cannot box to save his life.
Yep.
In the second fight, I'm sorry, man. That was a great acting job by Tyron Woodley, man. He should win a damn Oscar for that shit.
I don't know. Hey, I want to ask you this before you go, Storm. So, do you think this puts to rest the theory that the AJ side, like over there, like had the better heavyweights than the crop of heavyweights that were on the Wilder side, like the Ortizes, the Staverns, and then obviously, and then Fury started fighting like Wilder on that side? Because it seems to me like I kept hearing for years how Whyte was better than Ortiz, he was better than Stavern, and stuff like that. I think that it puts it all to rest.
I think it does, and I think that if Fury would have fought more in America, he'd have had a harder time, which he did a couple times. But those, those guys over there, they just, I'm just gonna be honest, they all just have shitty chins, not really all that tough.
Oh man,
oh man, you gotta love that.
I'm sorry, Dillian, Whyte, AJ, all of them guys can't take a punch to save their life, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, Fury could take a punch.
I was just going to say the only guy who's shown any kind of chin or even a recovery has been Fury. And that's something I mentioned in my video too, is that he's been down against a big puncher like Wilder, but guess what? He gets up. He gets up and whips ass. So, we got to give him that, man. But hey, Brian, before I let you go, man, I want you to plug in your show here and all that good stuff, bro.
Oh yeah. You can follow me on the Boxing Store in 206. I talk boxing history, MMA, other combat sports as well, but especially the historical aspect, and I go live when I need to, and to discuss the madness that's in boxing, like the shit that we saw today, man. So it is what it is, man. Salute to HCP, gfunky, and D-Style Boxing, man. Salute to y'all. Salute to ACP, man.
We appreciate the call, man. That was the Boxing Historian 206. You can find him here on YouTube, guys.
Hey, Haplo, call in, brother. Like, you could call in. But I just want to say, I remember back in 2016, I did a live. I don't remember when it was or how, but I know I wasn't live with Haplotech. We're saying that this dude ain't shit. Like, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it's just the way it is. Like, I'm comparing him to the elites, right? He just isn't that dude like that. I keep hearing people act like, for a while, there was people that believed he was the second best heavyweight behind only AJ. Like, for a while, people believed. You know what I mean? And you only lost to AJ, and AJ's the best. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. like it's just those people saying like, why should AJ fight Wilder? He's not even better than Whyte. Fight Whyte first, and then we'll see. Like, that's how they were treating Whyte, man. Like I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I think
And
the
to
only one that has
answer
a shot against AJ is Whyte if he ever gets that rematch. Like people would say shit like that.
and to answer your question, 92 AKU in the chat, he said he thinks this is the last one. He didn't officially say he was done, but he said he thinks that he's
And,
done.
and by the way, I thought Rivas won that fight against him. By the way, okay. I think Rivas beat him, but they give the decision to Whyte. It is what it is, and they didn't check those fucking gloves, bro. Then
Yep.
let Russ Hammer inspect those fucking gloves. And let me tell you something. I still believe, I can't prove it, but I believe they didn't let him inspect it because there was something up with those gloves. Okay. And he still couldn't knock out Rivas. All right. You think he was going to knock out Fury when you know they checked those gloves, right? So I'm just saying. But you know what? You know what though? It's easy to knock a dude out if you have a egg weight. You know. That's why he knocked him out.
Huh? Shout out to the egg weights, guys. Look, man. Again, the phone lines open up, and we got another call coming in. Give me 1 second, guys.
He's gonna get that call, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna see who this person is. So we're gonna see who's calling in. Is it a troll or a real person? Let's see.
We got my man, the one and only Haplo Type on the phone. What's going on, bro?
What's up, guys? Yes.
Was that satisfying or what? Like it felt satisfying.
Fucking happy, dude. I fucking hate Dillian Whyte. Fucking glove cheating, steroid using, whining little bitch who whined for fucking years. He finally got the spanking that he fucking deserved. Fuck that guy.
Keep it going, bro. Keep it going.
I wish the ref had let it go a little
Oh
bit
no,
more, so
come
he could
on.
have gotten that one more shot.
Come on.
I fucking hate him.
Man, that's
I
brutal.
fucking hate him, dude.
Whoa!
What he did to Rivas, bro.
Hey,
For what he did to Rivas.
That was some bullshit in the Rivas
Put him in
fight.
a wheelchair.
He's like, end this guy. I want him out for good.
Look, he obviously like I was just never
over the years. I've been the contender for 300 days. Oh, I need to fight. Dude, Wilder would have fucking killed that guy.
I agree with you, but I want to ask you the same thing because you know what I'm talking about when I say that there was like a divide in 2016. There was the AJ side and the Wilder side, and both sides did it, but. What I noticed at least recently is that people act like Wilder didn't fight anybody. Like who Ortiz didn't fight anybody because he didn't fight any of the crop on that other side, right? Yeah, he didn't fight like Povetkin and Whyte, but like who made those guys the standard? Like what made Whyte the standard barrier or something? Like what was wrong with Ortiz and Stavern and those guys and Wilder himself?
Well, they had to use him as a comparison. Because they were trying to downplay the Ortiz victory.
Yes.
So the narrative was that Dillian Whyte was a better win than Ortiz. But I can watch a boxer and see that Ortiz has more skill than Dillian Whyte.
Yes.
Ortiz has a better chin than Dillian Whyte. Ortiz is more menacing and just as powerful as Dillian Whyte. So I don't get where Whyte is better in what category.
And I'll tell you, before that side starts acting like they always do, like, oh, who said that? We never said that. Like, yeah, you did, because I remember on Twitter
everybody was saying that.
Yes,
when Ortiz got knocked down. Well, let me say this: when Ortiz got knocked down by Prince Charles Martin, right? Like people were like celebrating on Twitter. Oh, he's fucking up. It's the best win of Wilder's career, and see, we told you this side, and then he knocked him out. You know what I mean? Then they said quiet. They all said they had nothing to say, right? But this is like a washed-up Ortiz. He's not the same anymore. But 2016, 2017, 19 Ortiz is just a different dude.
People were saying that Wilder was ducking Ortiz. And then when he beat him twice, then Ortiz all of a sudden wasn't shit.
Yep.
Yeah, they were saying that. It's true.
Very true. See, this is what happens, man, when you got OGs like myself, Freestyle, and Haplo. We've been here for years. We hear all this.
By the way, people shit on the Stavern fight. Why? Because Stavern never fought that crop over there. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like they made that the standard barrier.
Stavern was a decent fighter.
I'd
say Stavern and Whyte are about even.
Hey, I picked
in terms of how good they are.
He stopped Ariola, bro.
Yeah, I picked Stavern to beat Wilder in the
They're
first match.
They're not elite though.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is basically, there's been a crop of people, the people that were picking Whyte to win, not all of them, but
No,
a
I
good
get
amount
you.
of them.
I get you. I get you.
A good amount of those people weren't objectively looking at both fighters. They convinced themselves that Whyte was fighting much better opposition than Fury and Wilder were by fighting themselves. Like, for whatever reason, they believe that.
Well, there's an argument in my mind that Wilder and Fury were the top two at that time. You know,
I agree with you. I've been believing that.
Yep.
Especially after Joshua got his ass knocked
Like,
out.
make no mistake about it, guys. Like, yes, the Glovegate thing was annoying, and a lot of the Wilder fans got annoying as fuck. But make no mistake about it, before Glovegate, there was a lot of dudes just hating on Wilder just to hate on him. Like, there's no doubt about that. They were actively trying to downplay his career, okay? And even, like, to the point where they were saying things like, okay, yeah, he beat Wilder, but Wilder's not really that good. Whyte's been fighting way better opposition than Fury. That's what they were saying.
They were saying that. That's true, man. And look,
Bro,
now you guys got to eat your words.
Was wishful fucking thinking. I kept telling people, dude, he's gonna knock this guy out. The guy's gonna walk into a fucking punch, bro. Like, he's got every advantage. He's faster. Hits just as hard. He moves better. He's got a better IQ. His inside game is on point. He goes to the body. He just does it all, bro. I mean, you can hate his personality or hate him, like, for being a jerk or whatever you think about him, you know, things that he's done in the past, but you cannot hate his boxing skill. The guy, for that size, to be moving like that, dude, all those feints, you never know when he's going to throw. He's always feinting, always moving, never runs out of gas. He gets up every time he goes down and comes back and whoops the guy's ass, bro. Like, I respect him.
Yeah.
I fucking respect him.
You have to.
Wilder was my favorite, but Fury's better, bro.
Yeah, you have to, man. And like D-Style and I said, that high guard that Whyte fights behind has got a big hole in it, and it's right in the middle. And I said uppercuts, man, within the first 6 rounds, this fight is over. And boom, the uppercut lands right at the end of that 6th round. And
you gotta duck away. You gotta, like, duck away from the opponent. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm saying he also drops his left a lot too when he's, you know, posturing.
When he throws punches, yeah, he doesn't protect himself. I mean, look, it's impossible to completely 100% defend yourself when you're punching, but I notice a lot. He's throwing that jab, the right hand comes down, and, like, even in his left hook, like, there's just a lot of holes there, man. And people, for whatever reason, just weren't seeing it, man. And this is why you have to look at things unbiasedly, man, you know?
And what was the fucking game plan, dude? Like,
he said to go to the body.
Did he land a single significant punch in that?
I'll tell you, you know when I knew it was over for him? When he didn't go for broke early. I knew he was done. That was his best shot.
And they catch Fury cold.
Yeah, sell out early. He should have just gone for it, and he didn't do it. Like, that was over for him.
I think maybe the best punch Whyte landed was the one behind the head, and what was that, round 4 or 5, something like that? Where
and I want to ask this to I want to ask this to Haplotype. So it's kind of a statement, but I want you to comment on it. So, you know how people have been saying for years, like, oh, Wilder's hand, you could see it a mile away. And Fury got hit with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, did you see how Whyte was missing that right hand?
Well, he missed a left hook so bad on Fury. He almost fell down from missing.
Well, he was missing everything, but I guess I'm concentrating on the right hand because I kept hearing about how Wilder's right hand is overrated, right? Like oh no, Whyte has a really good right hand.
I think, not even close to Wilder's. No. Not even fucking close, bro. He was trying to hit him with an overhand right, and he was winging, you know, haymakers every once in a blue moon. But he never came close because Fury is just too elusive, bro. Yep. Wilder was able to set up that punch. He doesn't get enough credit. No, he's not Benny Leonard. He's not fucking Sugar Ray Robinson in there. But he can set up a right hand and land it, and that's all, you know, he needed to get. Look, the limited abilities of Wilder impressed me because of what he was able to do with it, because he did very well for himself with that limited ability. You know,
if he's got one weapon,
he did well against Fury.
Yeah, if he's got one weapon, which is the right hand, he knows how to fucking land it. That's for sure. And he landed it multiple times on Fury.
Every once in a while, he throws a nice left hook too, like the one he caught Fury with in the 12th round of the first fight. That was a beautiful.
Spilt he landed a good left hook as well.
Yeah, that's a punch that he should definitely add to the arsenal because that will set up the right hand a lot better.
All I know is if Wilder's a one-trick pony, okay, what the hell's Whyte? Like a pony with 3 legs or what? Like, I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh my goodness, Haplo, give us some last words, brother. We'll let you go.
He's a no-trick pony. He's a no-trick pony. So I'm just glad because look, everyone talks about Glovegate, but we know the real Glovegate was the Rivas and Whyte fight, where he came in with gloves that weren't inspected. They were probably 8-ounce gloves, and he still got his ass dropped and still almost lost the fight. So I've been waiting for this day for so long just because I hate people who cheat with gloves so much, dude. That's a big pet peeve of mine, and I just don't like them, and I'm glad. I'm so happy right now. I don't even know what to say.
But shout out to Dillian Whyte. Remember how Dillian Whyte was laughing at Wilder when he got stopped in the second fight?
Yeah.
They were laughing at him in that interview and saying, the guy's a bum, he's no good, and that's why he's been ducking me. Yeah, motherfucker. How do you look now?
Yeah. Hey, Haplo, man.
Wilder didn't go down.
Right. Well, we appreciate
he finished that fight on his feet.
Exactly.
Anyway,
we appreciate the call, brother.
You guys.
Anytime you're here, man, and the chats, the phone lines are open, give us a call, brother. That was Haplo type, man, an OG of the YTBC. Guys, the line is open. Give us a call. Let us know what you think of this fight. Lee Groves here says that he checked the tape at 52-minute mark of today's episode of In This Corner, the podcast on Fight. I predicted a Fury TKO between rounds 6 and 8 with an uppercut being the punch of choice. Yeah, I said the same thing. D-Style, we said the same thing. Uppercuts, man. That's the thing. I
picked round 9, but yeah.
Yeah, I said within 6. I just made it. You know, Logic says, wish Wilder would have stretched Whyte when Amando got him out of the picture. Then Fury wouldn't have been forced to fight Whyte today.
Yeah,
it would have been a good fight for sure.
Remember, I was telling you off record, like, not off record, but like offline, like that Fury's going to be doing those hard feints. And man, he was biting, bro. Like, damn.
Oh, yeah. Every time.
Biting. Like, Jesus
Too
Christ.
fast.
He was like holding hand for a dog and shit. Like,
yep.
I'm just saying.
The hand speed was just too much for him, man. He's reacting to every little thing Fury was doing. Lee Gross says, what did you make of Whyte starting left-handed? Then Fury started in round 2 as I feel like that was some little bit of mind games from Whyte and Fury. Obviously, he comes out in southpaw for about maybe 10 to 15 seconds in round 2.
Yeah.
But it's this. I'm not in favor of guys switching to southpaw like that, unless you're really good at it.
I was waiting for the switcheroo in the middle of the round to catch him off guard or something, but like it never came. So it just felt like all he really did, like in my opinion, was give Fury time to kind of warm up in that round, because I think he was going to do that anyway. You know.
Yep.
And I don't think he should have ever let him warm up like that. Like, I think when he was cold, he should have came out right out of the gate, and he didn't do it. And I felt, my opinion, it was a mistake.
Yes, Logic. Another commenter says, at this point, who beats Fury in the heavyweight division today? I think Usyk's ability and stamina give Fury problems. He's the best candidate to beat him right now.
It's
but
60-40.
I still think Joshua has a chance to beat him too.
He does, but I mean,
I would favor Fury. Don't get me wrong, but I would still. Yeah, I still think it's a good fight. We got another call coming in. Give me a sec, guys.
All right, so the next caller comes in. Shout out to Haplo Type, Logic, Lee Groves, the Sin Surfer. How's it going, guys? Miguel Dragon, how's it going? And who is it? Let's see.
92 Aku is on the line. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing, man? Good, man. Give us your thoughts, man.
Oh man, dude, Fury, he's a monster, man. Like, he's unstoppable. Like, dude, this is like one of the greatest heavyweights of all time that we're witnessing. That we witnessed.
You know, it's certainly something that we could talk about at this point, I think. And he said it in the lead up. He said, you know what? I've held every belt that there is in boxing, and that's true. He had all the belts when he three of the major
Oh,
belts.
he hasn't
And
got
he
the Universal belt yet. You know, he's got to get
Right.
Roman Reigns. That's fine. Yeah.
But he had 3 of the major belts after he beat Vlad, years back. And then he comes back, beats Wilder for the WBC. He's had the lineal. So he's had them all, just not all at the same time. That would be, again, that's something that's something he could stick around and try to do. I know he said he might hang him up now, but we'll see, man. But what do you think, D-Style?
I don't think he's going to hang him up, brother. I just don't. This is like, I'm taking this as serious as I took like Mayweather's retirement after the Baltimore fight. Like, you know what I mean? It's just not. He's 33 years old. And look, I mean, he knows they're going to offer him more money to quote unquote lure him out of retirement. Like, that's what this is. And I get that he's held every belt, but he hasn't held them all at the same time. Yeah. Thanos didn't brag. He didn't get like 4 of the stones and lose them and then get the other one. And he didn't get to snap his fingers then, right? You got to have them all at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
But what were your thoughts on the fight? 92 at KU?
I was just amazed, like, how big this dude is and how fat. And, like, he was, like, on his top. I think this was, like, his best performance. Like, he was on top of his game. One of his best performances, if not the best, because, he was dodging punches. He was, like, outboxing him, basically. He was kind of rusty in the third Wilder fight. I thought he looked a little rusty, a little out of shape, and he had a fight. That was more of a fight. This one, he just, clearly outboxed Whyte, who, is the top 8, 9 heavyweight in the world, and he just straight up outboxed him.
I mean,
I agree with what was that?
I mean, is he? I mean,
is he a top 8 heavyweight?
I think Wallen's better.
I think so, because who did he beat? Povetkin. He beat what? Joseph
Chisora, Parker. But that fight, he's lucky to finish. He was lucky to finish that fight conscious because he was almost out of there, and then the fight ends.
I mean, I'll give it to you. I mean, I'm not going to argue too much about it. I'm just saying, like, we got to reevaluate because I don't think like now they're going to throw him to the wolves.
Yeah, he's for sure outside the top. I mean, bottom top 10. But I mean, not going into this fight, he was second half of the top 10. But I agree with you, D-Style. I don't think he's done because, he, like you said, he's 33 and, he has a chance to get all the belts with the next, after the Fury, after the AJ. And I don't think he's just going to let some other, especially if AJ wins, I don't think he's just going to let AJ go collect the last strap and just like get all the glory. Like, you can tell he don't like AJ. So, or
you want to know how we're going to know
with Usyk, but
well, I don't want to interrupt, but if he doesn't vacate his belt tomorrow or like later this week or by the end of the month, he's not retiring.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and I think they might. Maybe he fights because they're fighting July. Maybe he fights in Ngannou, like as an interim, like just to make a shitload of money, and then after that, what you're not. I mean,
not feeling that.
It's a fun spectacle to watch. I'm not saying it's a good fight.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the UFC guy, but I mean, I get it. It will make a lot of money. It would be a big event, but there's bigger fish to fry. I mean, look, if AJ comes back and beats Usyk, that's a huge fight. That's a huge fight over there. I mean, look, we just had close to 100,000 fans at Wembley. That might break the record. If AJ gets all those belts, and then that might break the record there, or the overall record. So that's a big fight. Also, Usyk, a guy who came up from cruiserweight, who could become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He'll be a 2-time undisputed champion, cruiserweight heavyweight. So there's a lot of shit, a lot of historical shit that could happen. This guy can't retire now. He just can't, man. And I don't believe him for a second. Just like Wheelchair Man John says in the chat, he can't believe a word Fury says.
You know what? I don't believe anything he says. This is a rule of thumb. Believe everything he says what he's going to do in the ring. Don't believe anything he says he's going to do outside of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't believe that he jacks 7 times a day?
I don't know. And I don't care.
Yeah.
He said that in the ring. He said that in the ring. So.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Keep it boxing, Fury. Keep it boxing.
Yes.
Who
who do you think has the best chance to beat Fury, Usyk or AJ? Like, assuming that if you're picking AJ, thinking that he will win the Usyk fight. If you think he will beat the Usyk fight and then fight Fury, or do you think if Usyk just beats him kind of the same way, do you think he has the best chance to beat?
I always felt, I don't feel this way anymore, but I always felt AJ could beat Fury. But I've changed my mind. But like, because I think AJ is more versatile offensively with his punches than a lot of these guys. He's more accurate. He could set up the right hand better than a lot of these guys, and he could punch hard. You know, like if there was no Wilder, AJ would be known as the puncher of the division. You know what I mean? And he could box. He could box pretty decently. You know, but the problem is that Fury's going to rough him up, and I don't know how AJ is going to take that. To be honest with you, like I don't think he could take that rough up. But I just don't know how Usyk's going to do, man. Like he's going to do the same thing Usyk, like rough him up, and then he's long. Usyk's not used to fighting somebody that long, you know, that uses the jab like that. Like it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. He has like a hybrid style now. Like he doesn't fight entirely like a Kronk fighter. He implements the Kronk style, but he still like boxes from the outside, moves, shoots the jab. So it's just hard. It's going to be hard to beat this Fury that's put it all together with this hybrid style he's got going on right now.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, he's a boxer puncher now. Like with the Sugar Hill, he's a boxer puncher now with defense and like long ass arms and like 6'9" and he weighs like 300 pounds.
He's one of the most improved fighters I've ever seen. I was not impressed with him when he was on the come up. He was uppercutting himself in the face like that. That's embarrassing. Like and like he uppercutted himself like in the face.
Yeah.
Okay. And he looked kind of like, then I saw the Cunningham fight. I'm like, this dude ain't gonna beat no Klitschko. Get the fuck out of here. And then he just shows another side of himself in that fight, right? Comes back, he makes an adjustment after the first Wilder fight, he's a tank in that fight, so overpowers him. And then now that he's come down from 277 to like 264, it's like a hybrid of both things. And that he's gonna be very dangerous. At that the 264-ish weight, he's going to be very hard to beat.
Yes, he is, man. And, utilize some movement in there, work behind a jab. I thought he was going to just try to maul Whyte, much like he did Wilder, because to me, he ain't shit when you get him backing up. He just isn't. But this time he decided to take his time, work behind a jab, and let him walk into punches. And, again, this is why it's important to switch up your punches, man. Like he started try to break through the guard with the straight right. Couldn't get through that much, go around with it. Then he started winging it to the body. And then boom, 6th round, right after a jab, here comes that right uppercut. And it was good night. So he's definitely a tough guy to beat. I would favor Usyk. D-Style, you gonna take off, man?
Yeah, I gotta get rolling, brother. But thanks for having me on. Shout out to everybody.
Absolutely, anytime, man.
Hey, D-Style.
So yeah, 92.
G-Funky, you're saying you would actually if Usyk beats AJ, you would, and they decide to make unification Fury and Usyk, you would actually favor Usyk.
No, I wouldn't favor him. I would favor him over Joshua to beat Fury. I think he has the better shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Fury's just like you said, man, 6'9", 260, 270, depending on where he wants to come in at. The movement, the jab, the feinting, like it's now you can fight on the inside and rough you up. Gonna be a tough guy to beat, man. No doubt about it. So give me your final thoughts, brother, and then we'll get on to some other calls, man.
Okay, yeah, no, I just wanted. I had one more question. Is there gonna be you think there's gonna be a Watergate? Because when they threw that water bottle, like the LDBC.
I don't think so, because the LDBC, they hate Wilder and they hate Whyte and Fury, so they definitely won't care about this one.
They'll cancel off. They're gonna cancel each other.
Yeah, that's what I think, man, for sure.
Well, I know probably the LDBC is watching you in the chat. So just if they're in the chat, just ask them. I'm just asking what's your guys' opinions, like Watergate. I mean, what were you thinking? Hey, what were you thinking when that happened? I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like when you saw that that water bottle.
I mean, I mean, fans can get a little riled up at events. I've been at boxing events here in my town where people have thrown beer cups, soda cups over in the ring and stuff.
Yeah.
Just they
No,
let
but
their
that
emotions get
wasn't
the
that
best of
wasn't a
them.
fan. That
That-
wasn't a fan. That was a team. That was a Fury team member.
Was it? Wow, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. Wow, I thought it was a
And
fan.
then they threw like a ball when they're in the corner. They threw a bottle at Whyte, like when they were like wrestling the corner. I think because Whyte was being kind of dirty with his forearm and the elbow.
Yeah,
And
punching on the break, punching behind the head. Yeah.
Yeah, they let him stay in the fight. They let him remain in the fight. They didn't kick him out of the stadium.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. But Watergate, that's a good one, man. To go back to the what was it, Richard Nixon, who got involved in that back, the former president.
So I'm gonna be watching. So So I'm gonna be on the lookout for videos with with the Watergate, the red circle, the little mark on the red circle in the video.
We'll see if they come out, man. Go ahead.
And I can guarantee you they're gonna make videos of Whyte. Whyte took a dive. Like anytime Canelo gets a knockout, they always like discredit it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they discredit this win with did he take a dive and but and that's nothing new. So we've seen that. So, hey, G-Funky, it was nice talking to you again. It was cool. Haven't been on a while, but it was cool to talk boxing with you guys in this early afternoon Saturday.
Right. Now we can go out and party and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, man, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. And catch you on the next one, man.
All right. Later.
That was 92 AKU, a longtime subscriber to the channel. Guys, I'll stay on here for another 10 minutes or so. If anybody else wants to call in, the numbers on the screen, 9165-721020. My man, Bruce, Gas, Boxing, and More is here. What's going on, Bruce? Glad to see you here, man. Let's see. Lee Grove says, back in the olden days, Braveman regularly sprayed a wet sponge at his fighters to well, they would. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So you see that sometimes today, but not too often. Let's see. Miguel Mondragon says, to me, Fury's best performance is the second Wilder fight. That was good too. He completely dismantled Wilder and got him out of there in 7 rounds. Stephan here says, I picked Fury to own him with the jab. He took away Whyte's left hook and body shots, and Whyte had no answer. Yep. I mean, I said within 6, and I said uppercut. I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but hey, I got that thing right this time, man. After coming off of a wrong prediction last week, but it is what it is, man. It's at the end of the day, it's not about really being wrong or right. It's all about promoting this sport, man, and getting it back to where it used to be. You know what I'm saying? But I did say within 6 rounds and an uppercut because Whyte's a sucker for the uppercut, man. Always has been and always will be. All right. So sorry guys, okay, there it goes. Internet here is acting up for a second. Sometimes when I close down the camera, it makes it better. But yeah, this was a pretty easy fight to predict, to be honest with you. But Tommy Fury to me was the only interesting fight on the undercard. The rest of the fights were just wasn't really paying attention. I like I said, I just had a daughter about a month ago, so I was spending some time with her. I didn't really feel like doing those quick little videos that I like to do on the undercard fights. But look, man, we got a barn burner of a fight coming up next Saturday in the super featherweight division. Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson, unification, really good fight. My prediction video should be out hopefully tomorrow. I'm gonna try to record it tonight and get it out there. It'll be out this week though for you guys to check out. I'll give you guys my thoughts on that one. I think that's a little bit of a closer fight than a lot of people are thinking, man. That's just what I'm gonna say for right now. Okay, I know there's a lot of people that were really, really impressed with Shakur, and look, I was too in that Herring fight. I expected him to win, but I didn't expect him to win like that. He showed that he could fight on the inside. A lot of people were not happy with his performance against Nakatella. in this fight before the Herring fight. So, there's people that think he's going to stink up the joint again, but he does a complete opposite. Fights on the inside with Herring and gets the job done, gets the stoppage. Valdez, his last 2 wins, he got a big win against Burchelt that he was an underdog, a huge underdog in, and then not so good of a performance against Conceição, but he gets the win there. And look, I think both guys are really good fighters, man. I think it's going to be a good one. So, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We had some really good phone calls. Shout out to 92AKU, Haplotype, the Boxing Historian, all you guys that called in. I appreciate it, man. And look, subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. All right. And look, before I head out, guys, I want to show you guys this one more time. Land uppercuts on Wilder. And to me, that's the kryptonite here with Whyte. He gets hit with a lot of uppercuts, man. And Fury throws uppercuts with both. I'm going to pick Tyson Fury to win this fight. And I think he's going to win by knockout. And I think it's going to come within the first 6 rounds of the fight. I'm just saying. Sometimes you get them like that. Sometimes you don't. You know what I'm saying? But hey, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining in. This was the post-fight call-in show. gfunkyboxing for Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. The band's going to take us home. Thank you guys so much. And we are out of here. We'll see you on the next one.